Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have a fun looking puzzle here. As you can see, it's called Matterhorn by WC. I never know how to pronounce his name, sorry, or her name. So we've got, obviously, a nice little depiction of a mountain with all of our little lines here, and we've got maybe a little valley down below the mountainside. So these kind of puzzles always just, they're fun. We've got some setters who can use visual images, create them out of Sudoku rule sets, and have it be a usable, workable puzzle, which is just fun. It's interesting to me that we can do this. I mean, I've never set a puzzle in my life, and I don't know that I ever will, but it wonders me that this kind of ingenuity or creation is something that comes kind of, I wouldn't say matter of fact to some setters, but it seems like it's quite easy for them sometimes to do these sorts of things. But anyway, enough babbling on about prettiness of a 9x9 Sudoku grid. Anyway, so let's jump into our rules and see what's going on here. So we've got standard Sudoku rules. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contains the digits 1 through 9 once each. Then we've got thermometers. So there's only one thermo. So the digits on the thermos are strictly increasing from bulb to tip. This is the bulb, this is the tip. So the digits start, lowest of the digits is here, and it moves upward until it gets to the highest of whatever this set of digits is. Then we've got German whispers. So adjacent digits along green German whisper line must divide by at least 5. If you have any color blindness, these are the two green German whisper lines. And the digits on this must differ by 5 as you move along. So whatever this digit, this one has to be 5 more, this one has, or 5 more or less, this one has to be 5 from that one, and so on and so forth, down the lines for both of the lines. Then we've got region sum lines. So these are these blue ones. These are the ones that outline the mountain here. They are region sum lines as said. So box borders divide each blue line into segments of the same sum of values. So whatever these 3 digits add up to, that value is what the other sections of the line in each region must also add up to. Then we've got our XV-Dominos. So cells separated by an X must sum to 10. Cells separated by a V must sum to 5. Not all X's and V's are necessarily given, so there is no negative constraint. So V clues, these have to add up to 5. X clues, these have to add up to 10s. And that's the weight of it. So that's everything in terms of rules. So with that said, the link will be in the description below for y'all to play along if you'd like to. And let's get started and see if we can figure this thing out. So the question is going to be, where the heck do we start? Now, the thermo is not particularly long, the little thermo path up to the mountaintop. So I don't know how useful specifically it's going to be. How long is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. So if this was just by itself, this could be up to a 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9 would work. But since this is on a V clue, it can't quite get up to that. So it has to be from 1, 2, 3, or 4. I don't know that putting in the 1, 2, 3s, and 4s on all of these 5 clues is going to help, but let's just do it. Well, I guess it does help a little bit because it shows us right off the bat that we have this German whisper here. And since this is a low clue, this must also be a low clue, and then these must all be high clues. So I'm wondering if we're going to get into a coloring situation here, because this is now, since this is high, it's on an X clue, it has to be a low clue. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm going to stick with the digits because I don't know that coloring is going to be the end all to this, or it might just be the start of with the German whispers. So let's start with that, and if we see coloring come into play, then we'll get into that. So I'm doing a ton of marking here at the moment, which said we could do that in coloring as well. Now, what does that lead us to? Well, it leads us to, well, this is another low clue. Let's put that in. point of interest for me, at least, is at the base camp here, or this valley area. In this region 8, we know that we have every low digit now. And it might make sense to go back and actually look at the locations of where certain digits on the Journal Whispers can go, but I'll get there in a second. So we know that this is either a 5 or a high digit. And it's going to repeat up here. So we might end up getting into a point where we can say that this can't be a high digit or something along those lines, then we can put in that 5 there. So that's kind of further reinforcement for possibilities of coloring. But before we do that, let's look at the actual German Whispers and see what can go where, because we obviously have restrictions for German Whispers, where let's say a 4 can never go here, because if we did, we'd have to put a 9 on both sides. Same would go for a 6 here, because we'd have to put a 1 on both sides. So we can start removing some of those possibilities, and as we do, we might as well shave off our other clues that might be attached to it. Again, this can't be a 6. This can't be a 4. We can do what else? This one couldn't be a 6. This can't be a 4. This can't be a 4. We do have a quad of low digits going across here. But again, we can't necessarily say that the remainders have to be all highs, because we still have a 5 that needs to be put somewhere. And where would that, see, again, we don't quite have enough of, let's say, to create X-wings to maybe point out where 5s go to make that kind of differentiation and work in between here. What I guess do we know that? No, we don't. I was going to say, depending on what these two digits end up being, whether it is a 5 or just one of the highs, it could therefore tell us what these are in terms of high-low combinations. Because if this is a 5 on here, go away. Sorry, getting an alert on my phone. If these were 5s, we would know these would both be low digits again, so we can be able to start working some of this other information out. Maybe it'll make sense if we were to look up our pathway to the top of the mountain to see if we get any more information out of this. I don't know that we necessarily will, though, because each one of these is going to be straddling between lows and highs, because we can't rule out anything at the moment in some of these items. So I don't know that putting those in will work. So maybe we do just need to look at base coloring and see if anything else pops out at us. Now I'm going to do, I guess I'm going to do blue for low, because it's cool. Yeah, I can see it, the lines through that fairly well, so it's not a big deal. And then we'll go in and put our orange for high, because orange is hot like the sun. That's my reasoning, and I'm going to stick with it. So, does that tell us anything? Well, I guess it kind of does. We're going to know that all of these X clues have one high and one low digit on them. Now, in this particular case, that's going to finalize all of our lows. But again, the 5 is being a bit of a thorn in the side here, because it could go in any of these locations still. So we can't start coloring in where the other hives may go. Same goes for across here. We know we have 2 more lows, but we also have a 5 somewhere. Here we have 2 more highs, but we also have a 5 somewhere. So we need to somehow continue to wear this thing down in some way. And how is that going to work? Let's think about it a little bit further. Because I would love to be able to get something like a 4 placed in here, because then that's going to really start to twist this thing down. But it doesn't look like we do anything further in terms of reducing the German whisper digits. We picked out the ones that oh, this one can't be a 4. We can do that. Well, that does something. We know one of these two has to be 4, so these can't be 4s. Therefore, this can't be a 6. If that can't be 4, this can't be a 1. That does get us going in the right direction, at least. Because now we've bumped this up at least 1 digit. Again, I don't know if it's necessarily gotten us to a point where we can really use that information yet, but it's starting to help. What else can we say? We know this is not a low digit. Does that matter? Because we've got this guy here and we've got all these guys here. Trying to think of it in terms of what is going on with these existing ones that we do know exist. I don't think we can make a determination there yet either. I keep wanting to get to this point where we can say these are something. Because if they are 5s, this becomes 2 low digits. The only thing that really does, or helps us with, at least in this stage, would be to limit the number of low digits that could be on the thermo. But again, we can't necessarily rule out this just being some high digit. It could be 6, 7, 8, or 9. Okay, so what the heck? I hate doing this, but I'm going to give it a look-see and see if there's anything that jumps out. Oh, we could have gone even one further. Now we know this has to be a high digit. I kind of knew that the second this couldn't be a 1. This can't be a 4, because it'll force this to be a 3. So that is something at least we can look at. If this is a 4, this has to be a 3. Well, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 low digits. So that's not 4, which means this is not 5. This is not 6. So we get another high digit. Okay, there's a little bit of something there. Okay. Is there anything else then we can say? I wish we could get this guy into a low situation. Because that would finish our lows in the columns. Or that column specifically. Again, the lack of enough information on our region sum at the moment isn't helping us. What did this do for us? I mean, at the end of the day, it sort of reduces what the value of these can be, but not to a point where I think that's going to be useful to us. And I guess the same occurs here. Like we know the absolute maximum of these can be is 9. So 5 and 4. So we get a maximum of the region at 12, because this could be 5, 4, and 3. So can that help us? If the maximum is 12, it does not really help us, because we could still have a 9 up in one of these guys. And, well, yeah, we could have a 1, 2. This one and whatever the other one is could be a 1, 2 pair. And that would keep us at that 12. Okay, that's got to be something for further down the line when we figure the rest of this out, if we ever figure the rest of this out. What do we have on the board? What is staring us in the face that we're not thinking about? I keep wanting to come back to our German Whisperer, because it feels like there should be a little bit more we can do with it. Like if we were to say any of these were 6s, how would it affect everything else? But I don't think it does enough, because let's say this was a 6, but these would both be 1s, which just means there has to be a 1 up here somewhere. It means that this would be a 2, 3 pair, but we wouldn't know how to divide the 2, 3 pair in any way. And one of these, well, not one of those, we already have the 1. So, I mean, we can make slight reductions, but that doesn't quite do a lot for us. Same goes for this guy. Now, we had a little bit of info for the 4s. Let's just put that in for a second. So that it's visual there. It doesn't quite help us unless we can get another bit of information on 4s or where they could go. And maybe stumped again. Stumped by a mountain. If this is a 4, does it cause any issues? If this is a 7, does it cause any issues? This is a 7, that forces this to be 6, 5, 3 or 4, 2 or 3, which forces a 4 here, which forces 9s here. Which doesn't seem to really make much impact. And the 4, on the other hand, doesn't really reverberate up the thermo too much, because it removes this, makes this 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, etc. It just removes like one little bit of possibility. Yeah, I just don't see it. I do not see what the heck it is that I'm supposed to be seeing. The other way to think about it is if this was a 2, 3 pair. This is forced to be a 4, and this is forced to be a 1. That breaks something, doesn't it? It does. That's the in. That's got to be the in. Okay, I just think I found it. If this is a 2-3 pair, this has to be a 4, so both of these have to be 9s. But this has to be a 1 because we've used 2, 3, and 4. And that forces this to be a 9. This cannot be a 2-3 pair. There we go. 4, 1. These are not 4 or 1. This is not 1. Oh, that took a while to find it. But we got there. So that's something. Now that does reduce these options again. And we can put some more coloring in. Although I'm not sure that's doing us tons of good. Now what can we do? Well, these can't be 1s. This can't be a 9. Forces this to be a 1 because we have 2, 3, 4 pair, or triple, I should say. So this is not a 1. This cannot be a 7 now because these have to be 2s and 3s. So we have to have something that's high enough to be able to take on those digits. That 1 here looks up here, so this cannot be a 1-4. It's a 2-3 pair. Okay. This cannot be a 2-3 pair because it would break this. So that is a 1-4 pair. This is not a 1. This is not a 9. We're getting bits and pieces here now. Let's see it through. Okay, so the 4 has to go on here. What does that do for us? It creates an X-wing of 4s, although that's not too helpful, is it? Again, the 4 isn't quite enough to help us with this, because this could very well be a 1-4 and equal our 5. That could go there, so we can't quite rule out that option just yet. This can't be a 2-3. Okay, there we go. I just got to keep looking around the board here. This can't be 2-3 because it would break this. So this one here has to be our 1 and our 4. This can't be a 4. We know there's a 4 on here somewhere by Sudoku. All right, what else we got? Let's see. This can't be a 6 for a couple of reasons. One of them was because of that can't be a 4, and this couldn't be a 4. And we have all 4 of our highs, so therefore this is 6. Let's get that in there. And it does have the 1s alongside of it, so that works perfectly fine. I really would like to get this sorted out. What else do we have here? Can't quite see the next move along these lines. Oh, these are 2 different digits. There we go. I'm having to keep flipping back and forth between lines, so it takes a second, at least for me to do it, to visualize. These are a 2-3 pair, so they have to be a 2. One of them's a 2, one of them's a 3, so this can never be a 7. That's an 8, and that's a 2. Again, we're getting little bits and pieces here. Is there anything like that elsewhere? What about this guy? No, he doesn't quite do the same thing, does he? Because we don't have these guys being told that they're different digits. These could very well be the same. Okay. Oh, this can't be a 6. Let's get that out there. So where does the 6 go? It has to go in one of these. Therefore, this can't be a 6. Well, it couldn't have been because of that one either, but now if none of these can be 6, one of these is. Oops, wrong button. And doobie-doobie-doo. Yes, hoping I can get these guys sorted. Can't quite do it yet. One's not really giving us much at the moment. Is there anything out here that's... Well, we've okay, let's look at our region sum now, that we have a little bit of clarity on it. Not a ton, but we have something here. We've reduced... Have we reduced it? We have not reduced it, have we? The maximum on it. Because this could be a 9, well, can't be. Can't have a high digit on it. Okay, so we can reduce this. Well, no, we're still at the same point I think we were looking at. No, we're not, because this was an option. There we go. Okay, I gotta think back to what I was doing. I've forgotten some of the stuff I've already thought of. Originally, we thought this could have been up as high as a 3 or something like that. So therefore, now the maximum that we have on a region line is 9 or 10, because the highest this can ever be is a 4 or 5. Can't have any of the high digits on it. In fact, that's going to tell us actually that these are both high, because we have all 4 highs, so none of these can be high, but we only had 2 highs. We needed 2 more. Okay, there we go. So this actually is a 4 or 5. There. Now that we know this is a 4 or 5, does that tell us anything? We know that our region sum now is 10. So that's something. What else do we know? We've ruled this out as a 5, but that's not too useful because we still have these all possibilities of 5s. Can we use that information to do anything? The 10, that is. The thing is, we don't have we have plenty of leeway with, there's no big number we've already put on some of these digits, or some of these cells. Can we come back to this and think about it a little bit more? We know it's obviously not a low digit. We know now it can't be a 6 because of this here, and we know it can't be an 8 because of this here. So it's either 5, 7, or 9 at the moment. Now, obviously, if it's a 5, this has to be a 4, 1. If it's a 7, this is a 4, 3. If it's a 9, it's a 4, 5. And there's nothing else looking at it too strongly here. What else we got? Let's see. Again, we don't know which one of these is the high, the remaining high here. We know this is a low digit, I guess, so let's put that in. It's either 2 or 3. Didn't do much because we already essentially knew that. One of these is high. The other one could also be high, or it could be that 5 that we've been desperately trying to figure out where the heck it goes. Does this 1, 4 have any meaningful impact on this 10 clue? It's not great. It's either 8, 2 or 7, 3. Which doesn't give us much. Oh boy. What else do we have here? What? Oh, this can't be a 9. We can get rid of that at least. Oh, that forces this to be a 9. Okay, that's something. Which means this can't be 9. There's another reduction. Good. So we still have the possibilities of 5s or 7s, though. Here. And what did that 9 do for us? It puts a 9 in here. Now, we know these can't be 9s because we determined this is a 10. So that's where we needed to get to. So this is 9. Again, we can't put a 9 here because we have to be able to get to 10. So this is 9. Okay, we're getting some 9 action going here. What else can we do with it? Sadly, that 9 just didn't do much of anything because that's the extreme digit. What else? What else? What else? What else? What do these guys have to add up to? They're either 7 or 8. Just wish we had a little bit more. Well, what about these two maybe? These guys have to add up to 10. They can't be 9-1, they can't be 8-2, and they can't be 6-4. So they have to be 7-3. Okay, that's interesting. These can't be 3-7 then now. And that 2-8 does some work for us. Okay. It was a bit of a tough one getting this thing rolling, but I think, at least I hope, we've got some traction going now. I really hope. This has to be 7. This has to be 8. That's not 8 anymore. 7-9 pair. That's not, or 7-8. You know what I'm saying. My brain is not functioning right now. I don't know why. So, okay, that 3-7 does finalize this. There we go. Having to see through the lines. I'm doing a poor job of it. So this, because this is now 5, I don't know why I had a 1-3 in there. It could have never, oh, it was a 4-3. That's what I was trying to get. So we knew there was a 4, so it was pairing with the 4 that was giving us that 4-3. So this does not have a 3. Oops, wrong button. Does not have a 3. It is just a 1-4 pair to equal our 9. And we do now have a 1-4 X-wing going on, so we can just slide that stuff in there for the moment. Now, what can we learn about these digits? They have to add up to 7 or 8. We can't use 1 or 4. Or 3, because we have a 3 down here. So we're saying that it has to be a 2-5 or 2-6. Because yeah, it's the only way it'll work, 2-5 or 2-6, I think. So therefore there has to be a 2 here. There has to be a 2 on here. This is 3 and 2, and that gives us 8 and 2. So 2-5 or 2-6. That 5 here tells us something here as well. If I would look forward a little bit, so we know what these are. So this is not 6. So this just is 2-5. Good. The 2 here gives us which one's which. 5 and 2. Okay. I'm getting stuck here and there, but it's working out once we get into it. It's just, again, scanning. Once you start getting a piece of the information, then finding the next place to look. 4-8 has to go here. This is either 7 or 8, and there's an 8. So let's get back to basics. This has to be a 9. This has to be a 7-6 pair, so let's put that in. This has to be a 5-6 pair. This has to be an 8-9 pair, and there's an 8 here. 9 and 8. Good. This is a given digit of 6. Yes, that appears to be the case. What do we need in this column now? We need to be able to place the 5, but it can go here or here. We need to be able to place the 6, but it can go here or here. And we also need a 9. We said a 9 can't ever go on our region sum, so this is our 9. This is a 5, 6 pair. We got the 5 there, so this is 6, this is 5, and 6. Good. We know what these 3 digits are, and we might be able now to, we can figure out right away what our region sum is, because we said 10 is our region sum. This has to be the 1, because we can't put a 6, 4 on there and have another digit. These 3 digits, we know this is 6 and this is 1, which is 7, so this has to be a 3. That 1 sees the 4 and the 1. I'll come back over here in a second. 1, please. Thank you. We have to have 7 and 9, and we have a 9 here. So 7, then 9. That now forces these 3. So they're 1, 4, and 2. This, of course, can't be a 1, and it can't be 2 either, because it's on an X and an 8 there. So this is our 4, which means this is our 6. Let's get rid of these marks. We don't need them anymore. And we can continue to look at, we've got a couple ways we can go. Let's look this way. And we know these are going to add up to 8, so we'll get to that in just a second. These are 3 and 8. I was hoping we'd have something giving here. What must we have? 5, 7, and 9. This can't be 9. So no, that doesn't quite work out yet. Okay. These 2 guys, we know they have to be what? They are 3 and 5, and that does, of course, equal 8. Plus 2 gives us our 10. And we don't have anything looking over there yet. We're probably going to have to use this X to finalize kind of the layout of this, because I think we've used all the other clues at this point. So let's continue to get what our given digits are, and then we'll figure out what this can be, hopefully. We need 1, we need 6, and 7. This can't be a 6. Okay. What can we do about this guy? We know it can't be a 9, 1 or a 6, 4. Now, it could be 8, 2 or 7, 3. Now, this can't be 8, so this can't be 2. Do we have any X-wings looking up here that we can do anything further? Don't see any, actually, which is interesting. So maybe we need to cut back into Sudoku and see what we can get going. We've got to have something here, right? Maybe, maybe not. Raise, no. What else? Come on now, where is this little chap hiding at? Really don't see it. I know one of these has to be a 9. Where's our other 9? It's one of these 2, which we already knew. Okay. All right, so there's going to be something in here that we can work with here. What are the last digits here? They have to be 1, 4, and 5. That does nothing. Have we used all of our clues? We have not. That's what it is. That's a 2. That's a 3. That's going to give us our 8 and our 3. And therefore, that can't be 8. So this can't be 2. We end up with our 3, 7 pair, and that breaks it all up. Again, having to focus a little bit on where things exist in the puzzle is helping me. That's not 7. What else can we do? What else did this take care of? That 3 gets us back up to our 7 and our 3. That forces the 1, 6, 7. This is not a 1 or a 5, so it's a 4. These are not 4s. That 4 creates 8 and 4. This is a given digit of 2. That's going to come back down to 1 and 2.
And do we have anything that looks in here? Yeah, the 7 looks into the 6 and the 7. That gives this a 5. This can't be 5 or 7, so it's 9. And this is 7. The 5 comes here to 4 and 5. Now we've got this in lock. These have to be 6 and 8, so we put the 8 here and the 6 here. We have to have the 9 here by Sudoku. This is a given digit of something, 5, which gives us our 1 and our 5. There we go. And this has to be 1, and the final digit we place is a 4. There we go, we solved it. Oof. Well, that was a little bit of a struggle. We got caught here in the middle, and it took a second to figure out where it was that we needed to look. And it was a simple little thing that if you really looked at it, you could have found, but it took me a second to spot it in the ether here, if you will. But again, excellent puzzle. Struggled a little bit. Took a little bit more time than probably should have, but hey, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're here to have fun, not necessarily looking at our time clock here. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that one. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.